for a crazy sweet episode of Black Sheep. You already know what it is right here on Energy Radio DH1 TV Network. Shout out to you.
Brooklyn.
Okay. Today we have a very interesting show. We have a special guest today. Chris Bulk Knight of Washington Township Council is here to talk about his campaign. And I also have my youngin, Elijah, in the building.
What's up?
AKA Six.
What an
Okay.
exit here.
Yeah, you see it. They see
Right. In the building to talk about something that he is,
Experience.
it's an experience. I want to get right into it because I also have a special caller calling in. Elijah, please tell everyone. Well, first of all, first and foremost, Mike,
Yes.
how's your day?
It was good. It was good. I got here a little early and we kicked it and we politicked about what we was going to talk about and what was going to happen tonight. So,
Right.
it's good to get here early, get over everything. So it's just, rushing every day. But I had a good weekend and all of that good stuff. We celebrated on Saturday night.
We did. We did.
We celebrated. It was cool.
We celebrated. Make sure you get those fire sticks fired up and those Roku's lit with
Like Goku.
DH1 TV Network. That's DH-1 Sugar _ Cosby. You already know it.
Oh, follow your boy. You already see it on there, right? That's right, right?
Yeah, you already
Okay,
see
I was just saying because on the flyer it said something else, and we was gonna fix that. But we got it
Okay.
right here, yo. But y'all see it. Follow your boy. I'm underscore A underscore Brown underscore God. I'll be that third eye. It's woke.
Okay, so this show is a little bit different. I asked my son if he was willing to tell experience coming from his perspective, and it's just surprised me when he told me what happened. So go ahead, Elijah, and let everyone know what happened.
So, me and my family were at the zoo, right? And we were at the I think reptiles, either reptiles or bird exhibit. And then all of a sudden, the N word gets shouted at me by he's like a 6-year-old. Like,
Mhm.
when racism will never end because they're teaching their kids this and their kids will keep teaching their kids and it's
What
gonna.
was like the whole like what were y'all doing?
Why did he even
what-
say?
He just ran past me, like,
He ran past you and he said it?
yeah,
It
Wow.
wasn't no.
but he
like,
went to me.
So wait, did he come up to you or he ran past you?
He came up to me and then ran past me.
Wow.
How did that make you feel?
I was really hurt. I was hurt. Like, it's not the first time I dealt with racism, but that
Excite anger in you, or did it make you sad?
it made me angry, but it hurt. It hurt.
Okay, so from a kid's perspective, how do you think this issue?
Mm, I never thought of that. Um, they can we can they can start teaching their children to teaching them to read multicultural books and like getting into to not be racist,
Be racist.
like
Is
like you know not like not
what? All right, go ahead.
um like not all people are racist. Like, it has to be taught. It has to be taught to them
Right,
for it to come.
right.
So for racism to end,
Racism and stuff like that.
I was.
Like I said, I didn't start going to white schools until like the. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I told you, it didn't really kick up until I was in high school,
Right.
and then that's when
I mean,
started
I
noticing.
didn't go to a white school at all. Like, I don't remember being with white people in my class like that. I remember there being like one or two white kids around, but me experiencing racism was always me going to the mall or going out to the movies and stuff like that. And especially when my parents weren't, and I was around a lot of Caucasian people, it felt like they were triggering me or they were trying to push me to go off or become the mad black woman they stereotyped me to be. So that's my experience. Like when I was growing up, I said because I told them that this is something that you need to prepare yourself for when it does happen. Unfortunately, this was a baby doing this to a older child,
It's
Um,
funny.
That's what hurt me.
yeah, but it does hurt when it's coming from a child because they're so innocent and you really don't want to be angry with them and you don't want to have that kind of frustration
Yeah.
Hmm.
on a child. But the ignorance is what pisses everyone
And it
off.
was like Elijah said, racism is taught. You
Right.
know, nobody grows up to be racist. It's taught.
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
fact that someone taught this little kid, this little baby, this stuff is scary. It really puts you on the division that this country is more racially divided than ever.
Absolutely.
And it's just a little situation like that
It
just
is.
goes to expose how deep it is.
On the other side, I gotta say that I see that the country is making its improvements on coming together. During the marches and the protests we've been out there, we've been seeing a big
A
variety of
big
people,
variety,
people
right.
that you didn't even think even cared about our civil rights issues. You know, people you would think that are well off in this country, they shouldn't even be out here, but they're out there. They were out there marching. Asbury Park, for one, we had freaking I have to really give it to the generation, the younger generations too, because they're not tolerating it as much as the older us. But because it is still being passed down, our children are still going to experience it, and unfortunately, they're going to have to grow up in a society where their peers have been taught
Right. Right.
racist
It's like
racism.
it's like I say, racism was here before we were even thought of, and racism is sadly going to be here long after we're gone.
Absolutely. So shout out to all the pioneers out there, everyone out there
Everybody that's out
holding
there,
it
Black Lives
down.
Matter, all
Black Lives Matter.
everybody has their little part in everything what's going on right
Yeah.
now.
Right, that's definitely out here supporting the cause
Yeah.
because the cause is very important.
Yep.
And you know what? You gotta give it to people too because I think that a lot of this whole the Trump supporters threatening black people has brought out a lot of people who are just outraged with the whole situation. And it's like, no, I'm not. We're not doing that. If they want to fight, we gotta fight back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's going to be hard for anybody to really come out here and try to destroy and try to disturb the peace, especially when everyone in the neighborhood is not with it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is like a militia of people. These are a gang of people that really don't want to see the peace between civilized people.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely right. And it's unfortunately it's a thing that we have to go through, and we are making slow progress, but it's progress regardless.
Right.
And as long as we keep moving this conversation forward and having this unfortunate talk with our children and preparing them for what they are going out to in the world, I know we need to call real quick, but I just want to say, it takes a village. Everything we can do this, we can have unity. We just gotta go with it, yo. Come on, y'all.
You already know what it is. Energy Radio, it's your girl Sugar Cosby. You have called into Black Sheep right here on DH1 TV Network. Thank you for calling in.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Caller, who may I ask we is speaking to?
It's your sister.
Mm.
Who sister? This is my white sister Megan.
It is.
Hello.
I'm talking to Auntie Brand.
Okay, so I'm glad that you called in today. I was really I wasn't really thinking that you was gonna call in, to be honest with you. Now I introduced you as my white sister Megan, on purpose because in the last episode of Black Sheep, Mike said, "Don't you have a white sister?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And we brought up a conversation. First of all, thank you for calling in. Appreciate you calling and showing
No
support.
problem.
All right, so there's some things that you wanted to get off your chest about the episode.
You cut out.
Were there some things that you wanted to get off your chest concerning the episode? I know we had a conversation where we were talking about people that have children with black people being considered still racist or not. Is that a way that of you showing that you're not a racist? Do you think that someone can be racist and have a child?
I think that some people can. I mean, I personally have met, girls that have had babies by other races, and they are racist, but that's not the case with me.
Right.
Right.
And I wanted to call you also because me, you had took two of my kids out to the Turtleback Zoo, and
Yesterday.
Elijah came on the show today, and he wanted to talk about his experience because he said that it was really bothering him, and he thinks people need to know that what happened to him is really serious and how it affected him. You know, so it was really great that you're calling today because you were with him.
Yep.
You were with him. Can you tell me about the experience?
Well, I was just walking up when it just had happened, and the kid had already walked away. But Elijah had told me that a boy came up to him and whispered the N word into his ear, but he couldn't point him out because he was already
You took
so
off.
far away and lost in a crowd, I guess.
Yeah. And
There was actually two racists at the zoo.
Yeah, when we were leaving, we
Yeah.
experienced something, but the boys didn't catch it until I opened my mouth.
yeah, and we know. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna bring up a situation that me and Megan, because earlier in the show, Mike mentioned that he didn't really deal with a lot of racism growing up, and I was like, no, I dealt with it. And one situation that happened with me and you together. We went out to Connecticut to celebrate my sister's birthday,
Mhm.
and while we were out there, I can't remember the exact situation, but I remember it was in terms of these guys saying basically me and my other sister couldn't get into the VIP or something, and Megan was like, "No, that's my sister. If she can't get in, I can't get in." And he was like, "This is not your sister." And it was like a big thing. I don't know. I don't really remember what happened. I just came in and you were going all the way.
And you guys are biological. He's like, no, y'all won't look alike. You don't look anything alike. You can't be sisters. And she's like, you're like, no, that's my sister. And you're like, and that's my sister too. And he was like, no, 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 no. And then
It's called reunion.
we just had to curse them out again.
Yeah, it was. But we have fun out there though. But it's just
Yeah,
unfortunate that it's like you're young, you're old, you're gonna be dealing with this kind of stuff. It's more.
yeah. Because we go out in public, as a family, and people always question. They're like, "Oh, well, how do you guys know each other?" And then as soon as we say that, we're siblings, they
It,
never just let it go. They're never like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. That's what's up." Like they never think like we can have different moms or different dads. Like they never ever think that we could ever be related. And so it's like it's something that everyone is, I feel like, is gonna deal with if you're associating with a different race, whether it be black, white, Asian, Indian, it doesn't matter.
word.
People don't accept diversity whenever they see it. It's hard. I don't understand why, but it's difficult for them.
Are you, Megan? Are you nervous about raising a biracial child around this time?
I'm not nervous about raising a biracial child, but I am nervous that my daughter doesn't look biracial, my son does, and he's gonna have to experience things that she probably won't have to
That's what
experience.
I. That's what I was
So
meaning. That's what I was meaning.
I'm gonna have to raise her to notice the red flags that I was raised to notice, and
Yeah.
make sure that she has a voice to stand up for her brother and her cousins and whoever else is being mistreated based off of their race or sexuality or anything else. Not matter.
And herself too, because regardless, she's still black
Yeah,
and
because
white.
people are gonna question her. They're gonna be like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. Let me see your dad. Let me see this. Let me see that."
Right,
They're gonna question her,
right. So,
and it shouldn't be like that. If someone says that that's what they are, then that's what they are. That's it. I don't know
Well,
why it's hard for people.
right. How are you talking to your kids about these issues on right now, and just being
I mean,
different?
the baby's a baby, so I can't say nothing.
Right.
But Ezekiel, we're just kind of taking the shots as they come. Um,
Okay.
we experienced something when we had first moved here, and a little boy came up to Ezekiel and said that that the police were coming because a neighbor fell off the roof of their house, and that he needs to go in the house because police arrest black people.
Wow.
Really?
So
Nope.
he came in the house. Yeah, I thought I told you. I know I called Peter.
Now, Megan,
But,
where do you live? Where did this happen at?
Oh, well, I'm up in West Milford, New Jersey. We just moved up here, but
Okay.
that's the only racial thing that we've experienced living up here. Everyone else has been really welcoming. We live on a pretty diverse block. And that boy didn't live here. He was a guest of our neighbors,
Right.
and it was not expected. And I
It's usually never expected when you're going through something like this. I think that people need to open their eyes and see what the real American family is, especially foreigners that come here with those
Yeah,
racial
with foreigners,
intent and
that's
mind
right.
frames. Yeah, because the average American family is biracial. The average by the
and you're not just talking about black and white.
Right.
Biracial doesn't just mean black or and white.
Right.
People often forget that. Like biracial doesn't mean black and white.
Absolutely.
Biracial just means two different races having a child. Like it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter what race.
That's sad.
It is. It's really unfortunate. I'm really sad hearing these stories. This is like my first time hearing this story about my nephew. Now I feel like I should have just grabbed him like, nephew, come here. Let me talk to you. I feel like
I tell you what, I like him, man. He has a lot of energy,
he
bro.
does.
I love
he has
it.
He has a good personality.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does. He does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um.
Now, real quick, I just want to clarify something real quick. I actually did experience racism from middle school through high school, so.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you were.
Yeah, I went to school in Springfield,
Right.
so.
So.
Can you tell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time, it was, I believe, I know I started high school in '97, but I went to Florence M. Gordonier. I graduated from there. Then I went to Jonathan Dayton High School, and in that school, it was just like maybe 5 black people at the time.
That's crazy. Like you would think, yeah, you wouldn't be dealing with this up north.
What?
I'm just saying, seriously, I wouldn't think that I would be dealing with this up north. I mean,
And-
maybe down south, but not up north. You know?
Let me
Especially
tell you
What-
something.
West
When we went to the zoo yesterday, I said, you know Melissa.
Uh-huh.
I was telling Melissa about it, and I said, you know something? I moved to the middle of the forest, okay? You would think that I would experience racist crap all day, every day, living up here, right?
Absolutely.
Because you don't see different races. You just don't. Often. I mean, they're here, but you don't see them. And then and I went down to Essex County, and I experienced 2 happenings of this. Like, this is crazy.
What?
Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would not think that you would
Essex County
experience
of
it.
all places.
This is
Like,
Essex
this
County.
makes sense.
Essex County is very diverse, okay? There's parts and places
For real,
of here
like-
that you just won't even believe. Like, this is crazy that we're all living together. We opt to live together because a lot of people are foreigners. A lot of people are immigrants in this country.
Mhm.
So we all opt to live together in this country, and it's sad that
It's tough time.
you know people could come here and be so racist. You know, like bro, you chose to be here with everybody, so shut up. You know, this is what
Exactly,
America
so-
is.
Get used to it.
Like-
You see,
like-
the racist people are not dying; they're having kids.
They are, but their kids are growing up. Like a lot of people are growing up in racist homes, and I've spoken to these people. That's why I get the chance to speak to different people of different backgrounds with different opinions. You know, that's why I would love to get a racist on the show. Now I spoke to
I mean,
people.
we could probably call Turtle Back New and just
Oh.
Okay. No, but I like seriously, like I spoke to people that grew up in homes that are predominantly racist. That they're just not racist. They've been taught to be racist their entire life, but it's just not in them to be like that. I think that
Well,
racism is washed
look at
up a
Mom.
little bit.
Racism
And it's kind of corny, and it's
taught. I didn't wake up to think that I was black. I didn't be born. I didn't choose to be black.
right.
I didn't choose to be who I am right now.
But if I could choose, I would choose to be black. Okay.
All
Exactly.
day, every
Black Lives
day.
Matter.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Megs. I really appreciate
No
you.
problem.
All right.
Love you, Auntie Mimi.
We're gonna go and we're gonna go pay some bills right now. But when we come back, we have an interview with Mr. Bucknight. You already know right here on Energy Radio, DH1 TV Network.
Hey.
It's the Black Sheep.
Yes.
You already know what it is. Peace out.
Yes.
Rolling out.
Yes. Kicks us out now.
Mom. Mom.
You want to take this stool away?
You take this one. Child, you are
And you can't think, do something, can't breathe, do something, no justice, no peace, do something, we all we need, do something, you can't think, do something, no justice, no peace, do something, we all we need, do something, do something, do something, do something, do something, take heed, boundaries. Thoughts be on my mind, I'm trying to get a say. We inside, y'all online, we ain't into that. Man, they taking black lives, we ain't into that. Oh, what I do to get my sister back? Look at you just standing with your phone out. Couple minutes past, now my homie gone now. We heard the news, now niggas going all out. Nothing else to do but put it in the song now. Nah, y'all really wanna act, we can act. Y'all really wanna scrap, we can scrap. You wanna bring your gas, bring your gas. Y'all wanna get loud, we get loud. Y'all get foul, we get foul. Y'all get wild, we get wild. Can't think, do something, can't breathe. Do something, no justice, no peace. Do something, we all we need. Do something, can't think, do something, can't breathe. Do something, no justice, no peace. Do something, we all we need. Do something, do something. Oh, that's it is, that's it is. Do something, do something, do something. Cops killing niggas on mine. Pray to God we stay alive. Wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Jokes on you, we still alive. Cops killing niggas on mine. Pray to God we stay alive. Wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Jokes on you, we still alive.
Yes, yes. That was my boy Dar Beats, Doom Team in the building. You already know what it is. Shout out to all my listeners out here. It is Black Sheep right here on Energy Radio. I got my boy Chris Bucknight in the building from Washington Borough Town Council.
Well, good evening. Peace and salutations, everybody.
How you doing today?
I'm tired.
You tired?
Yeah, I'm on the campaign trail right now, so
Right.
always working.
All
Just
right.
no break. Always grinding.
All right. So for people who don't know who you are, what you do, give them a little insight on who you are.
So, first of all, my name is Christopher Balknight. I'm running for borough. I'm actually right now on the school board for the elementary through 6th grade. I'm on the Democratic Committee for Warren County. I have my hand in pretty much a lot of things that are going on right now as far as changes going on in Warren County.
Okay. Awesome.
And I only started just about 2 to 3 years ago.
Wow, 2 to 3 years ago, and already you're running for council. That's awesome. Got to give you some for that. Definitely. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
What initiated this? What made you get started? And
I was kind of brought up in it, being that I'm from Union County originally. I'm from Roselle, went to high school in Springfield as well, same as Mike. But I'm about 4 years behind him. So when he graduated already, I was coming in as a freshman. So I went from 01 to 05. So I can acclaim to that there maybe was a little bit of racism, but there was more black people coming down the line from those grades, and it was more diverse when we graduated. And there's more people coming down the line, and much more people were receptive to everybody.
Right.
And not many people were receptive at first, but we're gonna cut that short. I got into it with politics. My family, pretty much, it kind of starts with there. It starts with my grandfather. He was a preacher. My aunt's a preacher. They're very diverse. They're very well conversed in politics and religion. So I was taught at an early age. What school wasn't teaching me was only teaching me the same thing of Dr. King and everyone else. I was learning about Malcolm X. It was a requirement to learn about Black history. My mother and my father weren't playing that. Even though they got divorced, the whole thing was you had to learn about your history of your people.
Okay.
And where you come from.
All right.
So I ended up getting involved pretty much a couple years ago. I guess it really came to when my cousin. My cousin was a freeholder in Union County. Shout out to Muhammad.
Okay, shout out to Muhammad.
Muhammad John. You know, big ups to him. My cousin, his brother AJ, who's over in Plainfield right now doing this thing too. I guess I followed their lead a little bit as well, and I saw what they were doing, making a difference, and I said, let me dip my hand into it, or dip my foot into it, see how it is. So I started when I was struggling at a job. I was working at Joseph A. Bank at the time, barely making no money. I was like, I need something better to do. And then I come home, I get a card, and it's like, hey, this guy wants to see if you're available to make some cold calls. So I did that back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, well, this guy's running for for Congress. Want to make some cold calls with me? Sure. That night I made about probably 100 calls. And, you know, the guy ended up winning. The next day was the election. It was November 2nd. There we go.
Okay.
And November 2nd, and it was like November 2nd around there. And then the next day, I get a call. I hit up and says, oh, do you want to connect with this guy, Lee Cart? Shout out to him. Warren County.
Shout out to Lee Cart.
Shout out to Lee Cart. Young Dennis Vice President. You know, Mr. Connect, Mr. Everything. You know, he has his hand in literally everything. So he's doing it bigger than I am. He's not even running. So I end up connecting with him, and he says, oh, do you want to be a vice president of, you know, the Warren County Young Dems? I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't know nothing about this. I'm like, I'm just new to this. Like, I just started. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I took a month, thought over, did it. And then a couple months later, I get with the Washington Borough Democrats over there, and they approached me and said, hey, you know, you're just starting everything else. Let's get you acclimated.
Okay.
So they got me acclimated. I'm quiet, and they said, hey, do you want to run for, you want to be part of the Warren County Committee? I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm just starting. Like, what do you guys, like, you guys like throwing me into a fire? I'm like, I feel like Dean Daniel thrown into the lions then.
Mm-hmm.
But came out unscathed, so I said, okay, I'll do it. So I replaced somebody else who was fortunately couldn't really not do it as well, but kind of was, I guess, kind of retiring. He now works for the county now. But I took his spot. I've been doing that. So later that year, I just decided with my significant other, is my significant other, I pretty much said, yeah, I'm going for this. So I got the backing from them.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, let me just start with the council.
Nice.
And now I'm doing that now.
Now you're doing that now, and now you're running. Gonna win. Gonna win. Okay. We're gonna speak on it. And one reason why I personally am rooting you on is because I speak to you regularly. You know, we've known each other for some time now, and wonderful. I believe that you're doing this with positive intent, trying to make things happen. You know, you really care. You know, did you think that you were ever going to be doing this when you were younger?
Absolutely not. The dream was originally to be in the NFL or be a sportscaster. That did not happen. Then the dream was to be a sociologist. I still have time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my degree is. My degree is I have a sociology degree from Upper Iowa, shout out to Upper Iowa. Fed now.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I ended up, you know, just never thought I would get into politics.
Okay.
I was speaking to the only person who thought was speaking, who I think probably would get into it. My dad said, you know what? If you don't realize, you were watching politics when you were young. Like I used to watch C-SPAN when I was a kid. Just sneak and watch C-SPAN at night. I always thought I used to get in trouble for watching C-SPAN. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, no, you're watching C-SPAN at midnight, bro. You gotta go to bed.
Right.
So that's why I learned about some of the stuff. That's why I first learned about the crime bill.
Right.
So I have extent knowledge of what people are just starting to find out now. I've been knowing that for years. So everything that's happening now, me and my bros since 2005 in college, we've been talking about this.
So you were already like
We were already
prepared.
We were already prepared, expecting this.
Wow.
As soon as Obama got elected, we already knew what was going to happen. And even before that, I mean, racism. I mean, to piggyback with the former episode, with the former the conversation you guys just had. I mean, your son had a racism act at 13. Mine first was 15. I was playing football, and I'm not gonna say the school who I had the incident with, but I was playing football. It was a scrimmage. We were playing against the school, and I ended up getting called. Damn, well, I didn't call the guy. I called the N word. I ended up just going after the guy. And we kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They took me out, and I was told by my coaches I had to apologize.
You had to be.
I had to apologize. I'm like,
did the other person have to apologize?
They didn't know I got called the N word. I didn't tell them that. I'm like, I'm not apologizing. I just slapped his hand and went about my day. I told my parents what happened. They were pissed. I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. He's gonna have to grow up the way he's gonna have to grow up. I'm just trying to make change.
Right.
And the funny thing is, like, that word has been around so long. We take it as a term of endearment. I take it as I'm not anybody's property. I feel like it's 3/5 for me. That's how I feel like. So that's why I say, when I approach somebody, queen and king. That's how I approach my people, queen and king. That's all I know, or God, whatever someone wants to be called.
Right.
But I can't tell you, as us, not to say it. But if you feel comfortable saying it, that's you.
Right.
My thing is, I don't feel like I want to disrespect my people.
Right. I appreciate that. I really do. So let's talk about the BLM movement. I see that you've been out to a few protests. You posted, and you've also did a few speeches where you were talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. Would you like to elaborate on some of that?
So the first protest I've been to was a peaceful protest in Washington Borough. Who would have thought that you would have had hundreds of people in a tiny town in West New Jersey? You want to talk about Trumpist and seeing a Trump sign? You think there's a Trump sign in Essex County? Go an hour where I'm at, you'll see it on every other house. I live in probably the most diverse, one of the most diverse places in Warren County. There's 3 of them. Phillipsburg and Hackettstown's the other one. I'm the 3rd. Yeah, but I don't pay attention to it. Not for me.
Are the Trumpers like go hard out there?
Well, if you have a no Trump, no more BS flag in your front yard,
that's gonna go hard.
They go hard. They go hard. And then
Trumpers don't play.
And then when you have a sign that says your name on it, and other people you were running with are like, oh my God, he's a Democrat. My God, Democrat. My God. He supports them. I'm like, did you even read or know what I'm trying to do for the town? So, I spoke around an event that happened in Newark that happened to somebody that I knew who was shot.
What was it?
Someone got shot. It was a young kid. He got shot. I spoke about that. I spoke about how I was tired of police brutality.
He got shot by the police?
No, he got shot by the police.
Okay.
It was a random shooting. So I said, I'm just tired of that. Us trying to take each other's lives. For what reason? There's no reason for it. I spoke about police brutality. I work 10 minutes in my house. I'm so afraid to go out of my house sometimes just to go to my job. And I don't live that far from it. So I talked about that. I've been to the one in Easton too. Easton was a big one. That was about like 2,000 or 3,000 people, and we're marching around. There was another one who was organized by someone about 2 years older than your son, a Black Lives Matter event.
Wow.
And she's now, I think she's still doing activism work. She's just starting to get into it. So the next generation is starting to step up. They're starting to see what's going on,
and they're taking initiative.
Yeah. They had me speak a little bit, but I don't want to speak that much because I'm like, this is for y'all. I want to see what you guys have to say. And I was impressed with everyone who had to come up. And a white woman who's from Kentucky runs a vape shop in town. I'm like, damn, these people really are like they're opening their eyes. And one of the craziest things, I know people are hard on police, but I'm gonna give a shout out to the lieutenant in my town for what he did during one of the protests. This guy actually, there was 2 people passing by in a truck, and they said, "F this event, go Trump." The lieutenant pulled him over and said, "You guys make my job harder than what it needs to be." Pulled him over, gave him tickets, and pretty much said, "Here you go, here's a ticket, why are you serving this?" And I'll give them that. They did make a protest I wasn't playing. I mean, I've been to let's see, another one. I've been to one in Oxford. That kind of hit close to home because that was these people who were associated with my town, but that's a town that's starting to see a little bit of change, but not much. That had at least a former KKK wizard living in there, Grand Wizard.
Wow.
Yeah, the head.
We have one right here in Jersey. Don't we have one
South Jersey.
in South Jersey?
I believe that.
For real.
Yeah, so it's, I mean,
They everywhere.
and they don't know like Jersey is the United States.
Right, Dirty Jersey.
Dirty
Stop
Jersey is the
playing.
United States. So I went to that one. One of my family members spoke, and it was about a kid who was just doing his job and was called the M word by a couple, and he's working at the pool. I'm like, he's working at the lake. I'm like, what is going on with these people? But then you realize that they're old and
they're ignorant.
they're ignorant. They're
they're
institutionalized.
Institutionalized, exactly. Institutionalized. So let's talk about your running for council, for town council. What changes are you proposing, or what kind of changes do you hope to make as if you become part of Washington Borough Town Council?
Invest in ourselves. That is the number one goal. My number one goal is invest in ourselves. As far as like teaching families to be financially better,
Right.
that's the first start. And then I will try to institute more into, entrepreneurship programs, like you're doing now, because that's what the town needs. You know, we're dying. I mean, I've been in the town for 6 years, but I've been going up there since '96.
Mm-hmm.
That's when my grandparents moved up there. So I've seen the town when it was at its brightest. With you can go downtown, you can actually walk and do stuff. You'd be busy for hours. Now I'm starting to walk downtown. I'm like, ain't much. I may be stopping this old restaurant, and that's it. Like, there's nothing attractive about our town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're gonna get Taco Bell, but I'm like, okay, cool. Taco Bell's cool.
Y'all got Wendy's?
No.
Y'all got Wendy's?
Yo, Wendy. I'll put it this way.
No.
Like, I'll put it this way. Like, where I live, Wendy's is 9 miles away. The nearest Walmart is 9 miles away.
What made you move out there?
Opportunity.
Okay.
Like I said, like my family.
Opportunity will move you.
Yeah, my family is known in Union County, so I'm like, I need to make a name for myself, and I need better opportunities. So what am I doing that? Let me move out here. Let me move out to Washington Borough, and at the time I was taking care of my grandfather. The plan was not to stay there this long. It was only a couple years, but I got acclimated and I got involved, and I'm still here. I'm not moved for a while.
That's cool. That's cool. So tell everybody where they will be able to find you if they were looking for more information on what you do. Rocking Bantu knots and wearing Jamaican flags. It sounds like she's been.
Well, you can go.
Hold on, she's been deeply penetrated through this.
Can you say that right now? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, not
black by
penetrated.
injection. Since you're saying like
she
that,
injected herself into.
Yes. Yes. It's real.
Maybe
Whoa.
she's gotten her some,
Maybe Adele got her groove
and
back.
she just loves it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And she's bringing her sisters along. Like, look, sus.
Well, let's keep in mind
Look what
it
I
might have
discovered.
been a skit. It might have been a skit, but we don't know what Adele likes behind the scenes, so
We
I don't
don't.
want to speculate.
Okay.
Alright, so being that this
And
happened,
she has a lot of soul to her. If you listen to her music, she's very soulistic. So
she is,
get it.
but it's just bad timing on her part.
I guess I don't really. I think people are becoming very, very sensitive.
But
you know
this
what I'm
is
saying?
not
Because
a-
what really does this have with Nigeria?
Well, it's just
Because it's from Africa.
it's African sex, yeah.
But do Africans promote sex tourism there?
Not that I know of. No, I haven't seen.
Well, I
anything.
don't know the whole situation, but I'm just saying like white women have been lusting over black men. African
Well, I
men
mean,
for
we
a
got
long
a
time.
couple
This
of
is not
minutes.
your
Up on this real quick.
if you can,
I'm pretty sure I could find it.
but
Look, it's like the first that come up, bro.
oh my goodness, come on.
All right. We're gonna check
Let's
this.
play it. Go
All
ahead.
right, let's play it.
Oh man, why I got you let me.
Put it up a little bit.
Beautiful. Africa. Witness the wonder, the escape,
Oh,
the
Ooh,
story,
where's
the
Adele?
sandy beaches,
Which one of them is
the
Adele?
massive bamboo,
This-
the wildlife, the
That's a lot of
culture,
weight.
the food, the nightlife, tribesmen.
That's definitely not her.
That's definitely.
Oh,
Look, did you see that?
The history and lush, dangling foliage. Tribesmen leave ordinary behind.
oh, this is the
After mighty
racist
balls,
This-
I yearned for a new beginning. And where better news than the crystal beaches and sandy beaches of Africa. The humpback whales, the tall, tall tribesmen, the baboons. After my divorce, I sought after the breathtaking views and delicious cuisine of Africa. So what are you waiting for? Set sail for Africa. All of Africa. Zimbabwe, Kenya, Ghana, Tanzania, tribesmen. The sky, the coconut water. You're gonna want that coconut water. Last night, I saw an empty front. After my divorce, I moved to Mombasa and was taken in by the Maasai tribe, where I was ordained as a minister of joy.
I do.
Me three. Hi, I'm
What?
Joanne. Oh, that's our name too. Right on.
Oh,
I first moved to the beautiful Africa after my divorce. I met a wonderful friend on the computer, and he invited me to the lovely ocean waters of Gambia. Ah, Gambia. So much bamboo. Bamboo. But once I got here, I knew I had to explore the rest of this magical island.
all these girls is blonde and blue eyes,
and they have a black.
and they got black men just walking past,
Carrying white women.
carrying them.
The drums. The pounding.
Yeah.
The fanning yourself with a palm.
This is crazy. We got 2 million views.
Such a deep connection.
What?
You can feel it in your stomach.
What?
Tell your tribe that you want to see Africa, all of it, from Angola to Jamaica.
You?
Not Egypt. Yes, very dry there, no bamboo. So leave the kids at home, leave everything at home, bring no one. Except yourself and some money and some men's sneakers. And don't tell anybody you're going.
This is promoting like sex trafficking, isn't it?
Africa.
Yeah, but this, look.
This is like telling people to come here for sex.
The number one destination for divorce.
Whoa. All right, Sugar, your thoughts.
That's like sex trafficking. That's telling people to come here for sex. You know what I'm saying? Number one destination of a certain age. Come on, for real? What do you think people are really traveling out of the country for? Things that they can get away with in other countries. Come to Africa. And y'all already know what's really going on in Libya. They didn't stop the slave trade out there.
No.
Just because we stopped talking about it, they didn't stop it. You know, there's a lot of BS going on, and this was hurtful watching. At first I was like laughing a little bit, but then it got sick to me real quick.
I wasn't laughing at all. I mean,
I was trying
obviously
to find light of it, I'm not gonna lie.
when you talk about a situation such as this, and then you actually sit and you watch the video, you realize how bad it is.
Yeah, how disgusting these people are. And then to really make a skit about it and
Right.
be so happy and laughing about this. You know, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. And I know that they had a little disclaimer at the end of a certain age. We all know what's really going on. You understand? And you know that the younger these girls are, the more that they're making money. You know, and this right here is some pimping shit. I'm sorry, this was pimping.
See, everybody was laughing, but you gotta read between the lines.
I definitely read between the lines. I got sick real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not cute. It's not cute. Adele, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now you see why she's under fire.
Absolutely, and I understand why she's under fire. She should be under fire. And see, in the beginning of the show, I was sitting here saying all these positive things about this woman, and they were cracking up. And to be honest with you, my stomach was rolling a little bit while they were laughing. Like, are y'all serious right now? Y'all can't be that high. Okay?
I mean, I know, even though this is SNL, there's got to be some kind of. I mean,
they have no chill. That's all I have to say. They have no chill. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in to another crazy sweet episode of Black Sheep.
This was a deep episode.
This was a deep episode.
Eli's story.
Yeah, to Meg calling in. We had Mr. Bulk Night. Make sure you check him out. Peaceful _ journey 86. Peaceful _ journey 86. Make sure you, if you're in Washington Borough, please vote for him. He's a really great guy. He has great intentions. He's not trying to mess anybody up. He's just trying to bring unity to the people. And I appreciate everything that you do, Mr. Bulk Night. You know, we're supporting you 110% over here, Energy Radio, DH1 TV Network. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let you know that. Make sure you download the Energy Radio app today. Download the Energy Radio app on Android devices.
Oh,
iOS.
I just want to. I know I announced it on the Tea Time with Sugar Show. But I just want to announce it here too. You know, I was talking to you about the whole voting situation.
Right.
And I've been saying, going on for months, talking about how I wasn't gonna vote. We had a talk that weekend. And I decided, I think I am going to go ahead and vote.
Awesome.
I think I'm going to vote. I mean, and I never, even when we were talking about the first episode, I was never saying that our vote doesn't matter. I never said that. I just was looking at, you know how I look at it. From my point of view, you have Donald Trump, who is a POS, and you have Joe Biden. I mean, he has his past, right? And I was like, it's like voting for which
one snake.
Two fangs on the same snake, or two bowls of ish, and which tastes the least crappier.
Right.
So I mean, but you know what? It's like you said, just trying to handle my business as far as our ancestors that sacrificed themselves, that died trying to get this vote out. We honor them by going there and I guess handling our business in that ballot booth or whether you early voting and everything.
We gotta make our vote count.
You gotta get out there.
They be trying to kill us because we vote.
And honestly,
they tried to kill us because we was able to go out there and vote. They was hanging us because we was voting. So we gonna just do it.
And listen to me. You should know everything you need to know about the political person that you're voting for.
Absolutely.
You should definitely do research on it and on that person or past everything you want to know, just so you make sure you're confident in your vote.
Right. And one more time, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Zoom team. Thank you, Zarby. Thank you, all the artists out there that submit music to Energy Radio. Thank you, DH1 TV Network, for providing this platform for us to be able to get information across through a different way. Also, make sure you tune in. Check us out, www.crazysweetent.com. Make sure you follow your girl all social media platforms at sugar_Cosby. You already know the vibes.
Yo, follow me on Instagram. I'm _A_Brown_God. Follow Energy Radio on Instagram at inner_G_radio.
Right, and make sure you tune into Black Sheep every Monday